Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Cash Matlock. An influx of some big ticket items that deputies in Monroe County have seized were up for auction today. Dozens were hoping to be the high bidders. Our Tyler Hull gives us a peek at what was up for grabs.
Got 15, 17 and a half. Anybody anywhere but about 17 and a half?
If you needed a car or were looking for any tools or recreational vehicles, Aberdeen was the place to be on Saturday morning. Cars, pickup trucks, four-wheelers, even campers were up for auction. Auctioneer Nick Clark says that with auctions like this, it is high risk, high reward.
You know, you come to an auction like this, you take a chance, you know. Some stuff runs, some don't. Some has a title, some don't. Some of it you'll drive off and you'll have a fantastic bargain. Other stuff you got to be careful of.
All of these items were gotten in many different ways.
It's a variety of items, from vehicles to various equipment. Some of it is seized, like from a drug seizure. Some of it's abandoned, some of it's stolen. Some of it is county owned and city owned. And depending on what it is, the condition, we bring it out here and sell it. We sell it to the highest bidder.
Sheriff Kevin CROOK says that the money made from the auction goes back to the county.
The money that's made here today through the auction will just go back to the Monroe County General Fund. Some of the items out here are seized, so some of that may end up coming back to our narcotic unit, but most of it will be going to the general fund.
Another benefit from the auction is bringing the community together.
Good to see a lot of local people coming out, and every dollar they spend comes back to the county, so we appreciate them coming out.
Tyler Hull, WCBI News.
The city of Verona welcomed a new chief of police today. City Hall was the site of today's Meet the New Chief event. MARSENIO NUNN was named chief on January 14th and had an official swearing-in ceremony with the mayor this morning. NUNN, who joined the Verona Police Department last March as a patrolman, previously served on the Boonville Police Department. He says it's important to have a strong police presence in the city.
We have a young police department that's eager to get out there and work. We're going to lower the number on shootings, and we're going to lower the number on domestic violences, as well as on the aggravated assaults. And we just got to get out there and buckle down, let people know that we are here. Police presence is very known around here.
Well, NUNN says he intends to sit down with the Board of Aldermen to discuss funding for additional officers. There are currently 12 officers on the force. He says he is not afraid to get out there and do the job and never would require his officers to do something he wouldn't do himself.
What a beautiful day we had today. Lots of sunshine, temperatures climbing into the middle to upper 50s out there. The clear sky continues into tonight, already down to 49 in downtown Columbus. Beautiful orange sky off at the horizon as the sun has set just moments ago. Heading into tonight, we keep overall a clear sky. There will be some clouds in there. Temperatures for many of us are into the 30s. Some of us, though, only dropping down into the 40s. All of us, though, warming up tomorrow with more sun than not, I should say. Temperatures in the 60s out there. A beautiful Sunday coming. However, as we look ahead, rounds of rain are on the way. Flooding is a concern. We will also talk about when we could see severe weather. All of that is coming up in just a bit.
Well, on November 12, 2019, 32-year-old Corey Bond went missing in Oktibbeha County. After weeks of searching, Bond's family received tragic news. Today, Bond's father, Richard Bond, and his sister, Katie Hearn, honored his memory with a donation to the Starkville Police Department. Unmanned aerial vehicles, or drones, played a big role in finding Bond's remains. Together, Bond's family and SPD have chosen to expand the department's search and rescue capabilities by starting a UAV program. The department took to their Facebook page to ask the community to continue to show support for the Bond family as they mourn the loss of Corey Bond. And in national news, Democratic presidential candidates are crisscrossing New Hampshire ahead of Tuesday's primary. After inconsistencies and delayed results from the Iowa caucuses, Bernie Sanders and Pete Buttigieg were in a virtual dead heat with Elizabeth Warren, Joe Biden, and Amy Klobuchar and others trailing. Skylar Henry is following the action in New Hampshire.
Joe Biden visited a food bank in Manchester.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
Shared moments at a campaign stop and told voters his experience matters.
I do not believe we're a party at risk if they nominate me.
The former vice president, who acknowledges a lackluster start after Iowa, took aim at Pete Buttigieg.
I do believe we're a party at risk if we nominate someone who's never held a higher office than the mayor of South Bend, Indiana.
With actor Michael J. Fox stumping for him, Buttigieg urged voters to embrace change.
I do not believe we can take the risk of falling back on the familiar. And at a divided time in our country, I also don't think we can take the risk of excluding anybody.
Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders again challenged Buttigieg over campaign funding.
The American people know that when billionaires contribute to a candidate, they are doing it for a reason. They're not doing it out of the goodness of their heart.
At Friday's New Hampshire debate, Sanders slammed Buttigieg for receiving donations from billionaires.
Democratic voters here say they're looking for a candidate strong enough to go up against President Trump.
Elizabeth Warren supporter Deb Peck has made up her mind, but says many voters have not.
It's been the most undecided campaign that I've ever seen. It speaks to how much people want to make the right decision, how much they care.
President Trump, who will hold a rally here Monday, tweeted, "We will not be touching your Social Security or Medicare in fiscal 2021 budget. Only the Democrats will destroy them by destroying our country's greatest ever economy." Skyler Henry, CBS News, Manchester, New Hampshire.
Well, CBS News has learned the Buttigieg, Sanders, and Warren campaigns have submitted claims of irregularities in the Iowa caucuses. A blast from the past and a good time for many in the Golden Triangle. Bernadette Stanis, or you may know her as Thelma from the iconic 1970s sitcom Good Times, visited North Mississippi. Our DeAndrea Turner has more.
Miss Stanis is an icon and a role model and a vision of beauty, and the writing, she even taken her talents beyond the screen to help the community observe and understand such monumental issues.
Bernadette Stanis signed autographs and copies of her books and reminisced about the legendary show Good Times.
And so I think it's a comfort show. It still means something.
She says the show still resonates today.
The same sort of issues that we were going through 40 years ago, we're kind of still going through them today.
Marion Taylor grew up watching Good Times and says Stanis' appearance gave others a chance to witness a little bit of history.
It was so important because small venues and small communities and our children of today, the youth of today, the millennials, need to be able to touch with the past and understand the cultural significance of that program that Ms. Stanis participated in, as well as to learn their place and their ability to do just the same types of things to improve the world and the lives of the people in her community.
Well, her book signing was a part of Northside Christian Church's annual African American History Banquet, where she is the keynote speaker tonight. Sunshine Stables is welcoming new faces. The horse therapeutic arena that is designed to help those with disabilities held their volunteer orientation and training today. During training, they had mock lessons and practiced emergency procedures. Executive Director Anna Brown also shared success stories with the new volunteers.
Yeah, so she saw that this big scary thing she had been afraid of her whole life wasn't all that bad, and she left with more confidence. And that's another thing that we want to do, and that I hope that I get to extend to you guys as volunteers are going to benefit from these lessons just as much, if not more, than our clients.
Well, there were over a dozen people there for training. After the break, a new battlefield exhibit for the Baldwin community. We've got all the details when we come back.
WCBI News at 6 p.m. with Cash Matlock.
Welcome back, everyone. History buffs who want to find out about their ancestors who fought in the Civil War now have a new resource to help them. WCBI's Chad Groening has more.
Mississippi's final Stanton Interpretive Center opened in 1998 and highlights the Atlantic Campaign in June and July of 1864, and specifically the battles of Bryce's Crossroads and Tupelo-Harrisburg. Edwina Carpenter is director of the center.
The National Park Service has marked, of course, the Battle of Tupelo site and the Battle of Bryce's site, and then we've been very fortunate through our Battlefield Commission's efforts and the Civil War Trust to be able to expand our battlefield into 1,500 acres at Bryce's Crossroads and a 12-acre site in Tupelo at the Tupelo-Harrisburg battlefield site.
And this weekend, the Final Stance and Interpretive Center unveiled its newest exhibit, They Served Here.
It is about the soldiers that fought here, its individual accounts, a database that includes their name, ranks, where they were from, what regiment they were in, and their outcome at the battles of Rice's Crossroads and Tupelo, Harrisburg.
And two authors and historians were on hand representing both sides of the conflict. Brian Steele Wills has written several books on the war, and specifically on General Nathan Bedford Forrest, the controversial commander of the Confederate forces.
He had an innate capability of understanding terrain and weather and psychology. He really understood how to confront opponents and use his intimidating personality, because he did have an intimidating personality, especially he continued to develop that in the war. And a lot of the pre-war, wartime, and post-war things get kind of narrowed down to very specific things. The fact that he was involved in the slave trade before, the fact of Fort Pillow and what happened there, and then the Klan after. Of course, he didn't start the Klan, he became a member of the Klan. I said he didn't found the Klan, it found him. And it was part of that post-war politics. It's a lot more complicated than we have time to talk about. That's really Forrest. He's a very complex and complicated individual.
While Wills lives in Georgia, author and historian Stan Buckles hails from Springfield, Illinois.
I think even in the Civil War, a lot of the Illinois soldiers appreciated his talent. In fact, locally in central Illinois, he was known as a land pirate because he was constantly attacking Illinois troops that were protecting the railroads around Jackson, Tennessee, and the Memphis area. So he was very much known as a threat to the Illinois troops. Yeah, they were definitely afraid of being captured by his army.
That is why General Sherman made defeating Forrest such a priority. Chad Groening, WCBI News, Baldwin.
Mississippi's Final Stands and Interpretive Center is open Tuesday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m.
More beautiful weather for our Sunday, but the rain is coming. And once the chance for rain starts, it doesn't stop all the way until Thursday. We're likely seeing another flooding event. We'll talk about that coming up right here after the break.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
It was a beautiful day out there with nice temperatures for this time of year. Very average, about where we should have been. We're cooling off nicely as we head into tonight under a clear sky. Already seeing some 40s out there, 46 in Starkville, the air base at 49. It is 50 still in Tupelo. West Point reporting 52. Heading into tonight, I expect to see temperatures ranging from the 30s to the low 40s, middle 30s to the east and to parts of West Alabama and the Highway 45 corridor. We'll keep a clear sky tonight. Some clouds may build into the west, and that will keep things just about a few degrees warmer here towards Winona at 42, 41 in Ackerman and in Louisville overnight tonight. Tomorrow, another great day coming for us. Temperatures climbing into the 60s. Some of us will come close, if not hit 70. It will be breezy, though. South and east winds 5 to 15 miles an hour. Mostly sunny is where we'll call it. Could be a few clouds, especially as we get into the afternoon and evening hours. 64 the high in Pittsburgh, 65 in Velma, 61 in Shannon, and in Manhatchee, Smithville, getting up to 62. As we drop south into West Alabama, 65 in Detroit and in Kingville, 65 in Ethelsville, Carrollton at 66, and then into the Golden Triangle. I've got 68 in New Hope, 67 in Brooksville, 70 in Possum Neck, 69 in Vaden, Bell Fountain getting to 67 tomorrow. As we look ahead overnight tonight, look, we're clear, but some clouds may try and build into the west. If that happens, just a little warmer. No rain, though, overnight. Into Sunday, then, a mix of sun and clouds through the day with south and east winds picking up into the region, and that will continue throughout the day into Sunday night before the chance for showers and thunderstorms increase after midnight Sunday night. By the time we start Monday morning, the rain will start, and it will last for perhaps a little while. Monday through Thursday, a broad threat here for level 1 threat. I'm not really worried about this. It's because of the flooding threat here. High threat for flooding moving forth. Very concerning forecast. Rain and storms on Monday. Widespread showers Tuesday. Heavy rain and maybe some strong storms on Wednesday. We'll watch that. And then rain showers finally exiting the area as we go into Thursday. We're looking at a high risk for flash flooding heading into Monday. This is from the Weather Prediction Center. Something really concerning, as we may very well see a range of rainfall from 3 to 7 inches is what I'm expecting across the part of our area area here, this could still shift around, and this may be underdoing it a little bit. Something worth watching here, the flooding threat is really what we have to watch moving forward. As temperatures remain in the 50s and 60s, we are finally dry into the weekend.
March came a little early this afternoon. The Rebels taking down the Gators in Oxford. Courtney has your recap next in sports.
WCBI Sports with Courtney Robb.
This afternoon, Ole Miss men's basketball knocking off Florida 68-51, which means the Rebels undefeated in the month of February. Granted, yes, we're only a weekend, and Ole Miss has only played 2 games. That's still 2 back-to-back wins from SEC opponents, and Ole Miss hasn't seen a win streak since December in non-conference play. Let's see how it all played out in Oxford. Ole Miss head coach Kermit Davis being honored for his 500th career win pregame. Early in the first half, forward Kerry Blackshear with the post spin finishes through the foul. Gators lead 5-1. 15 left in the first. Guard Brian Tyree, authority to the rack. Rebels with the lead 11-7. Under 13 in the first. Tyree looking like Rockets' James Harden. The step back 3 buckets. Ole Miss leads 17-8 and 11 and change in the first. Tyree, the Gators' nightmare, the steal. Hits the break, pops up the J, nylon. Ole Miss ahead 21-8, and midway through the first half, Blackshear finds forward Amar Payne for the alley-oop slam. Rebels still in the lead 29-19, 3 to go before halftime. Tyree sizing up Blackshear, the flex with the step back J. Rebels in the lead 31-19. Midway through the second half, Tyree owning the show. The downtown trays clean. Rebels take a 53-40 lead and under 8 to go. Guard Blake Hinson feeds it to forward KJ Buffin off the glass. Rebs ahead 58-45. 4 minutes remaining. Guard Devontae Schuler lobs it to Hinson. 2-hand slam. Rebs up 64-51 and a minute and a half to go. Buffin putting on the finishing touches off the fast break. The Euro step. Finish at the cup. Buffin finishing with 14 points, 9 boards. The Rebels keeping the good times rolling again, defeating Florida 68-51, their 3rd SEC win. Here's Coach Davis after the game.
We're guarding and got stops after stops, and Brian put us on his back. I just think now we're just getting multiple scoring. You know, we had 3 guys in double figures, almost 4. Dream had 6, so just 4 or 5 guys in the scoring column, and just the balance just helps you get off of those kind of 3 and 4 minute, kind of pieces of games that you can't score.
I feel like we got a good chance to keep going and getting wins on the road, pulling the games out.
Sticking to hoops, the Mississippi State men back at home to host the last team in conference standings, Vanderbilt. Although the Commodores are 1-8 in the SEC, it looks like a turning point may be near. That one win for the Doors coming at the expense of 18th ranked LSU. Vanderbilt knocked off the Tigers Wednesday 99-90. Now with that momentum, the Doors looking to turn 1 win into 2. MSU head coach Ben Howland saying the Doors' energy has been building all season, and he's anticipating a tough matchup tonight in the Humphrey Coliseum.
I think they run a lot of good stuff offensively. They shoot a lot of threes. They really stretch the floor and space you out. And, Lee is such a good driver and finisher at the rim. It's a hard team to match up with. And they're going to change defenses. I think you saw that if you watch anybody watch the LSU game. It's really a heck of a game. But they, are playing 2-3 zone. They pressed probably more in that game than they had shown in any of the previous conference games and had success with it. Back to their zone. They're also playing man-to-man. They ice all the ball screens. So they're a very well-coached team. He does a very good job. You can see a lot of the NBA influence.
The matchup between Vanderbilt and MSU, an important one for State. 1 of 4 remaining opportunities at home inside the Humphrey Coliseum for MSU to come out with the win. Tip-off at the Humphrey Coliseum is tonight, 7:30. If you're looking to watch that game and you can't make it to the Hump, you can tune into the SEC Network. And, of course, as always, we will have your full recap, highlights, and all for you tonight on WCBI Sports at 10. That's it for sports. We'll have more for you after the break. Stay with us.
As we look ahead here, the sunshine returns tomorrow, but the rain and storms start. Rounds of rain and storm Monday all the way through Thursday. We'll be watching that flooding threat closely.
Definitely want to keep an eye out, especially in Oktibbeha County with the lake dam and everything.
That, even the rivers, about everywhere has a chance to see heavy rain. So if you live in a flood-prone area, you want to stay up to date with the forecast here moving forth, something we'll be watching. Good news on next weekend, more sunshine.
Yeah, it seems like we've had a pretty good luck streak with weekends so far.
Yes, it has been. So.
Thank you guys for joining us tonight. We'll see you back here tomorrow.